Hey YouTube, it's CryptoOneStop coming to you guys from the Crypto Cave, and today I'll be doing a brief update on the Nexo platform. First, we'll go over the dividend distribution. I'll show you guys my actual count with the Bitcoin I received for my dividend payout. I'll show you guys my daily payouts that I've been receiving for the interest that I'm earning. We'll talk about the Nexo Mastercard. Afterwards, we'll briefly touch on the token utility 2.0. And then I'll conclude the video with my closing thoughts. So this is the dividend that I received on the 15th. If you look here on December, I received my first dividend. And what I did was I held my tokens from the issuance of this dividend all the way till now. And because of that, I was eligible to receive the loyalty dividend. And the way they calculate the loyalty dividend is that it's no less than 1/3 of the total dividend issuance, but it's distributed amongst the addresses that are eligible to receive it. So if there's not that many people out there that were eligible, let's say it was just maybe 10 people, and it was the dividend issuance was $1,000. Each individual would get $100 out of that pool. So this is their way of rewarding people for holding the token, because what you could technically do to be eligible for the dividend distribution is just hold it 10 days prior to the distribution date, which is considered the ex-dividend date, and you'd be eligible to receive the dividend, and you could just buy and sell the token. They've adopted this loyalty dividend model. The total dividend issuance was roughly 2.5 million. The total base dividend, and again, this is about 30% of their profits that they've made, they're giving out to the token holders. And so the base dividend was roughly 1.3, and the loyalty dividend was roughly the same amount. So basically, if you held on to your NexoToken since the last issuance, you were given double the base dividend. And so if you look here, I received 0.0044 for loyalty, and less for the base dividend. So what they're doing is they want to make sure that they're amply rewarding people for holding on to the token rather than just buying it prior to the ex-dividend date. Another benefit to getting paid in the BTC token is that it has price appreciation potential. When I first received the dividend back in December, it was only worth about $12, $13. Today, that same Bitcoin is worth $40. So the $80 that I'm being paid today has the potential to go up in value in the future. And in addition to that, in the future, they're going to allow you to earn interest in Bitcoin. So whatever Bitcoin and other cryptos you deposit, you'll be able to earn like interest, sort of like Celsius and Crypto.com. So for holding Bitcoin on this platform, they'll give me, a rate of a return on that Bitcoin. So it's sort of like a double snowball effect. I have NexoToken that I have price appreciation potential. They issue a dividend, and on top of that, that dividend has price appreciation potential, and I can earn more of that dividend by loaning it out by just holding it on the Nexo platform. Now let's transition over to talking about the daily payout as I show you guys my actual account. As you guys can see here, I've been accumulating interest, and the interest is obviously compounding. I added a little bit here, a couple thousand, and that's why it jumped to 6.9. But since then, I haven't added a single dollar, and the interest I've been earning has actually gone up by a penny about every week or so. And so unlike other platforms where you basically lend out your crypto or your fiat and you earn interest on the principal amount but not on the interest that you receive, here on Nexo, the interest is actually compounding. So this $6.10 that I've accumulated, that's also earning interest as well. Now that I've shown you guys my daily payouts, let's go ahead and transition over to talking about the Nexo Mastercard. Just recently, Nexo has unveiled their Nexo Mastercard, and you can go ahead and get on the wait list. It might be like some of the other cards where the Europeans get them before the Americans do, but I think it'd be worthwhile to get in line nonetheless. The benefits are the loan that you receive via collateralizing your crypto, you can spend using your card at whatever stores that you want to spend it at. And on top of that, they're gonna have additional features that make it easy to monitor your balance and your account details. So you can freeze your account by just pressing a button on your mobile app. There's not going to be any fees, and so it's going to be at no cost to the user. But they're also going to add some perks. For example, you're going to enjoy a 5% cash back whenever paying with the Nexo card. And I would imagine that more features would be added in the future. It'd be nice if some of us folks who are lending our cryptos out, or sorry, in this case, our fiat out, if we could spend some of the interest that we've accumulated. I mean, that'd be a huge perk. I mean, or if we could spend some of the dividend distribution that are earned in Bitcoin. I think inevitably that's coming, whether it's on Nexo first or some other platform, but eventually some platform that's allowing you to earn interest in crypto and fiat will enable you to spend the newly earned interest. It's just inevitable because these guys are competing against each other, and if it's a feature that another platform has that's popular, it'll be widely adopted by companies who are engaged in lending. Now with this added service, they're actually gonna be able to add additional utility to the token. So as a token holder, I think you're gonna receive more benefits. For example, that cashback bonus that I was talking about. I would imagine that they're going to have sort of a tier system where based on the number of tokens that you have, you'll be eligible for a certain amount of cash back. So I think that's definitely coming. With that being said, let's go ahead and transition over to our next topic, the utility token 2.0. So here you can see on the Medium page written by the Nexo team, the new utility features that they're planning to add in the near future. So for one, you'll get better rates on all Nexo products. And that basically means that when you get a collateralized loan, you'll probably get a preferred rate. And it might also mean that for us folks who are lending and getting about 8% on our fiat, we may be eligible to receive a higher rate. It's sort of like the Celsius model. On their platform, depending on your ratio of Celsius tokens that you own as opposed to the other cryptos you have. So let's say your total balance is 100,000 and 20,000 of that is in Celsius token, or roughly about 20%, right? At that point, you'd be eligible to receive a 25% bonus on the interest that you're getting on the crypto that you're lending out. So I could see some sort of iteration of that being done on Nexo. They'll be adding premium features and functionalities. This is pretty vague. Who knows what they are, but I'm pretty excited to see what they're going to be. They're going to have a higher cash back. So basically what I was saying earlier, they may not have the tier-based system, but just for holding a certain amount of Nexo tokens may make you eligible for a certain rate of cash back on the money you spend with the card. Elusive Nexo card designs, which is pretty cool. You might, depending on the number of tokens you hold, you might get a customized card. Affiliate commissions, which would be great for someone like me who's been writing articles and doing videos on Nexo already. And lastly, you have invite access to products and events. Invite access to products usually means that they're testing it in beta, and they're gonna invite you to test in beta. You're gonna be the handful of people who are selected to be the guinea pigs. Their core objective is basically to increase the demand of the token and consequently cause the price to appreciate. A lot of these ICO projects like Nexo implicitly promise to increase the value of the token, right? So people who participate in the ICO would get a return on their investment. That was the hope, that was the objective, and Nexo looks like they're pretty close to delivering on it. Now the price of the token has fluctuated quite a bit, all the way down to all the way down to 4 cents to 12 cents, but it hasn't gone up in a meaningful way. And I think that's mostly because the stigma around cryptocurrencies and the crypto space in general. And to date, the only sort of bonus or perk of holding the token was the dividend that you would receive. So people thought they could maybe invest in some other projects or other financial instruments that would give them a better return than the dividend issued by Nexo. Now with the utility features that they added, I think it will drive up demand. The price will go up, but I think a lot of this won't take place in a meaningful way until we get broader adoption by the general population. I mean, we still sort of have a stigma around cryptocurrencies in general. Most of the public doesn't view them in a favorable light. And so I think it's going to take some time before this happens, but there's obvious benefits to having a platform with Nexo. I mean, you're not going to get anywhere near 8% with the banks or, any of the traditional legacy financial systems that, are interest bearing. None of them are going to give you a return like Nexo does, or Celsius or MCO. This is definitely, in my view, the wave of the future. I think it'd be a great way to onboard a lot of crypto skeptics out there. I even had a coworker who hasn't bought Bitcoin to date, doesn't think crypto is going to succeed in the long term, but was open-minded about trying Nexo. In fact, created an account and already funded it. So I think it could be that breakthrough app or service that we were looking for to onboard a lot of these crypto skeptics. And once they've been onboarded, I think then they'll realize what the benefits are to platforms like this that are sort of crypto focused and crypto based. At which point, hopefully they go down the Bitcoin rabbit hole like we all have, and we could see broader crypto adoption as a consequence. So I'm going to end the video by, bantering a little bit. So basically the Nexo review and update's over. This is me just talking about how we consumers benefit from a free market economy. With this free markets and, balanced regulations, not overbearing regulations that are intended to keep competitors out. If you allow companies to compete on a leveled playing field, and you remove a lot of the regulatory barriers, consumers will ultimately benefit from that, because when the companies compete, usually what happens as a result is that the price of the service goes down, the quality of the service goes up. And that's the general trend for most companies and the services that they offer. And if they start to stagnate or they don't keep up with their competitors, they're outcompeted and they lose all their market share. But the companies that remain will continue to offer new additional features, will continue to innovate to outcompete each other. And again, we consumers will benefit from that. I mean, just take a look at Nexo and some of these other platforms. You'll see, and I don't know if they're doing it because they see the competitor raising the rates, but I think it definitely could be part of the reason. I mean, I saw Nexo when it first came out, the rates were around 6.5. Then I saw another platform raise it to 8%. Then I saw Nexo do the same. So, these guys are going to be mobilized to do these types of things and reward users more because, they don't want their competitors to get ahead of them. This makes me very bullish about the space in general. A lot of these products wouldn't have been possible in the legacy financial world because they put up a lot of red tape, they put up a lot of restrictions prohibiting retail investors from coming in. I mean, the biggest barrier to entry is the capital required. They put minimums on to just be an accredited investor. And so I think this space, with all the new products that they're creating, is going to liberalize and democratize finance. It's going to allow retail investors to have access to products and services that were only once available to the wealthy elites. And so I am very optimistic about the future. I can't wait to see what kind of innovation that it produces. And I think it's going to do a lot to close the income inequality gap and also level the playing field for everybody. With that being said, this is CryptoOneStop signing out. Bye, folks.